Want a new Android phone and can't decide? Hang on, this video will help you select your best option. While Android phones come in all sizes, shapes, and price points, there are still some that stand above the rest of the market by a wide margin. From the best foldable phones to the latest specs and software, these phones earn their flagship pricing. After watching this video, you will get to know which is the best Android smartphone, best budget Android phone, best flagship Android smartphone, best camera phone, their pros and cons. So, without wasting any more time, let's get started. 1. Samsung S22 Ultra, best Android phone. The $1,200 Galaxy S22 Ultra is one of the most expensive Android phones out there, but for good reason. It has a giant 6.8-inch display, an S Pen stylus you can store inside the phone, just like the Galaxy Note, and a 4-lens camera with a zoom range that's hard to beat. Samsung also improved the way all of its new Galaxy phones take photos in low light, which is especially important on a photography-oriented phone like the Ultra. The only downsides? The S22 Ultra's sky-high price and relatively short battery life. Still, the Galaxy S22 Ultra is the best phone for people who want the biggest screen and one of the best cameras available in a smartphone. You just have to be willing to pay a higher price for those perks. 2. Google Pixel 6 Pro, best software phone. Google stayed out of the flagship segment for a couple of years and spent the time making its own chip that specialized in machine learning and artificial intelligence. The Pixel 6 Pro packs all of it with the photography prowess that's hard to beat. Google's $899 higher-end phone still undercuts rivals on price while including so much value. It's a big phone, with a 6.7-inch screen, which is pin-sharp thanks to its 3120 by 1440 pixel resolution. It has an adaptive refresh rate that can go up to 120 Hz when you're playing fast-paced games, but also slows down to only 10 Hz when the phone is basically sitting idle. The 5003 mAh battery should be good for a full day of mixed usage. 3. Vivo X80 Pro, best camera phone. You may not have heard of Vivo before, but you should definitely be paying attention. The company is a giant of the Chinese smartphone market and is slowly expanding its international reach, which is a good thing because it's been an open secret for the last few years that Vivo probably makes the best cameras in any phone around. The X80 Pro is no exception, with 4 phenomenal rear cameras. The 50MP lens is phenomenal, but it's the 48MP ultra-wide that really blows away all the competition, and the 2 zoom lenses add extra options. The tech is really at its best in low light, with hands down the best night mode available anywhere. It's a great phone elsewhere too, with a top-class display, fast charging, and excellent battery life. The main frustration is that the company's Android skin is a little awkward, but if you care about the camera and can afford to spend this much, it's hard to do better. 4. Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3, best foldable phone. Samsung's first few attempts at foldables were fun, but felt like novelties. With the Galaxy Z Flip 3, the Korean tech giant has unequivocally got it right. A revamped design not only looks much better, but incorporates waterproofing and is more useful thanks to the larger cover display. Core specs are solid throughout, with a Snapdragon 888 in tow, and the 12MP main and ultra-wide cameras are decent if not exceptional, though you may miss having a telephoto lens. The big drawback is battery, with the Flip 3 only just lasting a full day's use, but if you can live with that, this is the first foldable that feels absolutely competitive at its price point. 5. Oppo Find X5 Pro, best high-end all-rounder. The Oppo Find X5 Pro is a phenomenal phone by any measure. The 6.7-inch 10-bit 120Hz QHD Plus panel is one of the best displays in any phone right now, and Oppo backs it up with 80 watts wired and 50 watts wireless charging. a 5000 mAh battery, and a top-tier camera that boasts 50MP sensors on both the main and ultra-wide lenses. You'll have to live without a periscopic zoom lens. The telephoto here is a measly 2x zoom, but results across all three rear lenses are exceptional. The design is unique too, thanks to a seamlessly sloped camera module built right into the ceramic of the phone's body. For pure performance, the Find X5 Pro is also hard to beat, with all of the above plus a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip, 256GB storage, and 12GB RAM. You just have to be willing to pay the price, as it doesn't come cheap, though the regular Find X5 is a great option that costs much less. 6. Google's Pixel 6. Google's Pixel 6 is the smartphone to get if you want a big screen, flagship performance, some of the best cameras on the market, and a look that distinguishes it from the competition. Google extended its 3 years of OS and security updates to 5, so it'll last. In the US, the Pixel 6 is available both through Google and all major carriers. The Pixel 6 has a 6.4-inch 1080p screen. It can be set to automatically switch from 60Hz to 90Hz, depending on the content on screen. However, the fingerprint sensor is on the slower side. It comes with two rear cameras, the main camera with a wide-angle lens and a second camera with an ultra-wide-angle lens. If you have $599 and are looking for a new phone, the Pixel 6 is our recommendation. 7. Xiaomi 12 Best Compact Flagship. The Xiaomi 12 is a rock-solid performer thanks to the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset, but it's also pocket-friendly thanks to a screen that's less than 6.3 inches, small for an Android flagship these days. It's still a great display too, with 120Hz refresh rate on the AMOLED panel, so there's no compromise in quality. 67 watts wired charging and 50 watts wireless charging are among the fastest around, and the 50MP main camera is also excellent, though the telephoto lens you'll find on its bigger Xiaomi 12 Pro sibling is missing. Xiaomi's MIUI version of Android is not still loved, and the lack of an IP rating holds this back a little when compared to rivals. But other than the regular Galaxy S22, this is really the only small-screened Android flagship going, and is well worth a look for that alone. 8. Google Pixel 6a Best Mid-Range. If you can't afford the Pixel 6 Pro or even the Pixel 6, then Google has another option for you, the decidedly affordable Pixel 6a. This mid-range phone packs the same flagship Tensor chip as its bigger brothers, along with a similar design, but it's a much smaller phone and made from plastic rather than glass. There are downsides, of course. The camera specs aren't quite the same, though it still impresses. You'll also get slower charging and only a 60Hz refresh rate on the display. If you can live with those downsides though, this is an excellent option for the price.